Well, hey everybody. It's now the second week of May, and I have two more books for you. Both of the books I have for you today are about animals in some way. This one is called Those Darn Squirrels and the Cat Next Door. All right, let's see what happens with those darn squirrels. Here we go. Old Man Fuquire lived on the edge of the forest just outside town. He was a terrible grump, and in wintertime he was even grumpier than usual. Whenever it snowed, he would shut his eyes tight and think of summer. He missed sunshine, suntan lotion, and weenie roasts. But most of all, he missed the birds who flew south when it got cold. He must live in Minnesota. During the long, lonely winter months, the only critters left in Fuquire's backyard were squirrels. Now, not many people know this, but squirrels are champions of the forest. They are craftier than beavers and smarter than fox and swifter than rabbits. They're also full of mischief. When it got too cold outside, the squirrels would drop in through Mr. Fuquire's mail slot and visit him at home. They'd warm themselves by the fire and finish the old man's crossword puzzles. Mr. Fuquire woke up, he'd chase them out with the broom. Then he'd shake his old man fist and yell, "Those darn squirrels!" Old Man Fuquire thought spring would never come. But eventually the forest bloomed and the birds returned from their winter vacation. Whirly birds chomped on tumbleberries, bonga birds snacked on honey snaps, and the fuglebird ate, oh my goodness, such funny words, and the fuglebird ate fertile seeds until he got so full he had to lie down. That must be him down here. Fuquire danced through the yard with delight. He set up his easel and brushes, then he painted the birds till he got blisters on his fingers. Tired and happy, the old man went inside for a quiet afternoon snack. Suddenly, kaboom! Old Man Fuquire spilled cottage cheese all over his suspenders. Kablam! The fuglebird fell out of his nest. Kablooey! The squirrels had to restart their annual chess tournament. The noise was coming from the house across the stream. It was the sound of a small woman unloading enormous crates and moving in. Fuquire's new neighbor was little old Lady Hugh, the town baker. The only thing sweeter than the pies Hugh baked was the little old lady herself. Everyone in town loved her, but no one could stand her cat, Muffins. He was a real jerk. Hugh didn't see things that way. She thought Muffins was a cuddly honey bunny, but after the infamous poodle incident, she decided to move to the forest so her cat would make some new friends. After unpacking her crates, little old Lady Hugh baked a tumbleberry pie. Then she and Muffins went to say hello to their new neighbor. Fuquire despised conversation, so he hid behind the drapes. The squirrels were scared of the cat, so they hid inside the drain pipes. The birds weren't sure why everyone was hiding, but they stuffed themselves down the chimney just to be safe. Eventually, Hugh got tired of waiting for Fuquire to answer the door. She walked around front and pushed the pie through the mail slot and went home. Normally, Old Man Fuquire hated pie, but this one smelled delicious. He took a deep whiff and closed his eyes. And when he opened them, the squirrels were licking the plate clean. "Those darn squirrels!" shouted Fuquire. Full and happy, the squirrels tumbled from the house. where Muffins ambushed them. That cat grabbed one of the squirrels and gave him a wet willy, and he snatched another one and gave her a noogie. Then he tied two squirrels' tails together. Luckily, old Lady Hugh returned before Muffins could do more. She scooped him up and scratched him under the chin. "Come on, Schnookums," she cooed. "It's time for dinner. You can play with your new friends another day." I think the squirrels are happy they're gone. The next morning, Muffins burst into the yard, terrifying the birds and interrupting Mr. Old Man Fuquire's painting. Then the sneaky cat pounced on an unsuspecting group of squirrels and gave them all wedgies. Not an easy thing to do, because generally squirrels do not wear underpants. The squirrels were furious. The birds flew up in the treetops and refused to come down. And Old Man Fuquire was so upset he wrote a letter to the mayor complaining about his new neighbor. That night, the squirrels held a meeting to figure out what to do about the cat next door. They ate cheese puffs and drank ginger ale to help them think. Finally, they had it. The perfect plan. When Muffins came over the next day, the birds were feeding peacefully beneath the tree. A wicked smile came over the cat's fluffy face, and he wiggled his haunches and launched himself through the air. The frightened birds swooped into the sky, yanking the strings the squirrels had tied to their tail feathers. The strings sprang the trap, and the cat was doused with a gallon of freezing water. Muffins let out a ferocious yowl. Old Man Fuquire ran outside when he heard the terrible noise. "Great goodly moodly," he exclaimed. "That pathetic wretch is no bigger than a squirrel." It was true. Under all his fluff and fuzz, Muffin was nothing but a skinny mini. He lowered his head in embarrassment and sloshed his way home as fast as he could. The squirrels' plan had worked perfectly. They gave each other high fives. The Baba birds snickered, the Yabba birds chuckled, and the Flugel birds enjoyed a healthy guffaw. Fuquire snapped his suspenders in delight. "Those darn squirrels," he said fondly. Old Man Fuquire never warmed up to his new neighbors. He was a grump after all. But the little old Lady Hugh became quite good chums with the birds and the squirrels. Every Saturday when the bakery closed, she brought all the unsold cakes and pies and cookies home. She set them out on her picnic table, and everyone gathered for a delicious, fun-filled feast. Everyone except the cat next door, who refused to leave the house ever again. Oh my goodness, what a silly book! Those squirrels, they got that cat good, didn't they? Our next book this week is another one about animals. It's called Frog and Beaver. And I want to thank Anna and Jack De La Hunt for letting me borrow this one. I really like this book. I might go out and buy it for my new grandson. Here we go. Every morning, Frog woke up from under his leaf and looked out over the beautiful river. Frog shared the river with his friends, the ducks and their ducklings, the water voles and their baby water voles. Everyone lived happily together. It was perfect. Then one day, a young beaver came swimming down the river. "Hello, little fella," said the beaver. "I'm Beaver." "Hello, friend. I'm Frog." "I'm looking for a place to build my first dam," said Beaver. "It's going to be the biggest and the best dam you've ever seen." "Well, this is a great place to live," said Frog. "You'll love it here." "Wonderful," said Beaver. "I'll get chewing." But the next day, Frog woke to see that the water in the river was very low. "What happened?" asked Vole. "We can hardly swim." "It's that beaver," said Duck. "Have you seen the size of his dam?" "Leave it to me," said Frog. I'll go and see him." "Hello, Beaver," said Frog. "Can I have a word?" "Sorry, Frog. Can't stop to chat. Have you seen my dam? Isn't it fantastic?" "Well, yes," said Frog, "but it's stopping all the water." Beaver was too excited to listen. "This is going to be the best dam around," he said. "Everyone will love it." The following day, the water in the river was almost gone. "That darn Beaver," said Duck. "Who does he think he is?" "I wish I were bigger," said Vole. "I'd show him a thing or two." "Oh dear," said Frog. "I'll talk to him again." "Look," said Beaver, as soon as he saw Frog, "I told you my dam would be the best." "But Beaver," said Frog, "why does it have to be so big? We don't have any water left." "Well, there's lots of water on my side," said Beaver. "Why don't you all move up here?" "Why do we have to move upstream?" Duck groaned. "I'm sorry," said Frog. "Beaver just wouldn't listen." "I wish I were bigger," muttered Vole. "I'd teach him a lesson." Well, when they arrived, Frog introduced everyone to Beaver. "Hello," said Beaver. "Look at my dam. Isn't it amazing?" "Humph," muttered Duck. That evening, Frog helped the ducks collect sticks to build a nest for the night. Then he helped the water voles dig a new hole. Finally, Frog fell asleep under an old leaf. By morning, Beaver had finished his enormous dam. "It's brilliant," boasted Beaver. "It's nearly as tall as a mountain." "Frog, Frog, look, it's the best dam in the whole world." Frog looked. He saw the huge dam, but he also saw the water about to burst over the top. "Look out, Beaver," shouted Frog. Suddenly branches began to creak and snap, stones tumbled, boulders crashed, and then whoosh! The water came crashing through the dam. Beaver was sent tumbling over and over and over again as the branches and the boulders sped by. And then came the ducks and the ducklings and the water voles and the baby water voles and, of course, Frog. "Swim for the bank," shouted Frog. The ducks and the water voles and the frog all made it safely to the shore. "Is everyone okay?" asked Frog. "We're okay," said Vole, "but I think Beaver's in trouble." "He's all right," Is he all right?" asked Duck. "He swallowed too much water," said Frog. "But I know what to do." Frog jumped up and down on Beaver's back until Beaver began to cough and sputter. "Where am I? What happened?" asked Beaver. "Your dam burst," said Duck. "Frog saved your life." Beaver was quiet for a moment. "How can I ever thank you, Frog?" he gasped. "Well, we've lost our homes again," Frog said. "Perhaps you could help?" "Anything," Beaver said eagerly. So Beaver helped the ducks build a new nest. "Not too big, though," said Duck. And he dug a new hole for the water voles and the baby voles. "Not too big, though," said Vole. And finally, Beaver built a dam for himself. "Not too big, though." Everything on the river was perfect again. Especially for Beaver's best friend, Frog. You know, Beaver just didn't understand that by building that great big dam, it was hurting his friends. He made a mistake. But you know what? Afterwards, he helped fix that mistake, and he helped all his friends make new homes. We all make mistakes sometimes. As long as we help fix them, that's the best thing we can do. All right, I hope you guys have a fantastic week this week. And if I'm thinking correctly, it's Mother's Day this week. Be good to your mamas, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye, gang.